Hello,
Hello.
my. Look. No backlight.
I know. I was thinking about it before. Can you hear me well?
Yeah.
Alright. I saw you bowing the first time, but my camera doesn't. I don't know why it doesn't connect like it used to, like super fast. So I get this 5 seconds of I'm blank, but I can see you, and I was like, no.
Okay. I thought it was you first of all, and then
that
you, then
that
you
look
didn't. Then you didn't move. I
that look
thought, okay.
that looks very nice.
I actually put my proper robe on. I suddenly realized I don't actually normally wear my proper robe because somebody made me a koromo, but it hasn't. The sleeves aren't quite as like a clown. So I normally wear that one because this one I just worry it's going to catch in like a flame or something.
That's where you're supposed to like be mindful of it.
I know. I
I was
know.
lit- I was literally talking about the same thing with Takashi. And like literally, he was like, "I'm gonna put on the kesa," and I'm like, "No, really? Yeah,
Or was he doing it to go, yeah, I can never. My problem with the Kesa isn't that I like the Kesa. I'm just too hot.
yeah." You can't see, but probably you can hear. To my left, I've got a big old fan blowing air in my face. I wouldn't be without it.
No,
I'm sacrificing the candle and the incense for the fan because if I keep it on, it'll burn down my candle. Look at it.
that's fair enough.
I only light it up in the morning for my morning sit, and when I do the chanting, and when I'm done and I go to actually sit, I have to turn it off. Put it out. Turn it off. What?
I imagine in a Japanese winter, they've been very grateful for the Kesa, but I just find kimono, korono, Kesa,
So
especially in summer,
we
which
got
so
rid we got rid of one backlighter, and here's another one.
I know it's we got to have somebody in the shadows. No,
Ah, there you go. Oh no.
but
Yeah.
I've heard Shoka talking about wearing her full kit in like 100 degrees in California. It's just like she just like you turn into a sweat machine. It's just
Yeah, I think she's not doing that anymore.
I think she's very wise. She'll lose. She'll be like those Grand Prix drivers who just lose like a stone in liquid during a Grand Prix.
She was literally wearing shorts and a t-shirt last night. I mean, you can't do that at like 4,000 degrees.
No. I think if Zen had started in California, they'd have taken a very different style of clothing.
Oh yeah. Can you imagine?
Well, I'm going for a mixed look today. I was telling Beyond that I got my Roxy dirty, so
Uh,
I washed it. So I'm wearing the Kessa and a button up shirt,
oh,
Well,
seriously? Oh, that's cool. That's very Nishijima.
right? We have those pictures of him wearing like his tie and everything.
Yeah.
you're absolutely in the dark, so you can't tell what's happening below the pink of the face.
Well, I turned my light that's right there all the way up, and it helped a little bit, but not much.
As you can see, I've actually changed position. So I don't have my shrine behind me, but it means I don't have my huge window behind me either.
Win some, you lose some.
Exactly. Unfortunately, I don't think you can read any of my books there. I know when I don't know if you played this game in your countries when like during lockdown, the politicians come on Zoom. They always try and have some really clever looking books behind them. But there
There's
was
a
one.
There's a really awesome Twitter account called Room Raider,
Oh,
and
really?
that's all it is rating people's backdrops in Zoom.
I have a question for you right now at this very moment. You have you're on Twitter.
Well, I'm not sort of.
We'll talk after.
I have an ancient Twitter account. I mean, it's
We'll
like
talk afterwards. Me too. Like 12 years.
Ancient.
yeah,
How old is Twitter?
ancient in
12,
internet time.
12, 13
Yeah,
years.
we're
Something
not
like that.
talking like AOL Messenger, though, are we?
No, no.
You and I need to have a conversation then.
Yeah, but I never check it. Like I know that if anyone cross posts, So like Instagram, I just follow there. Like dog rates. I follow dog rates on both, but I only ever see it on Instagram.
Hi, Kaishin. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Can you hear me? Okay.
Oh, Nico, that's a nice surprise.
Yeah, Nico's 3 minutes early.
I haven't seen Nico in like 12 hours. I think we haven't seen each other in like 12 hours or so.
Well, one of you stalking the other.
We're definitely stalking each other. Every single week for like what, a year and a month or so.
Yeah, at least.
No, it's a year. I turned a year with Tree Leaf on August 13th.
Seriously.
Oh, congratulations.
It seems like you've been here forever.
2 years for me, right around the same time, I believe.
2 years. Wow. I'm a baby though, Koku. I know it seems I'm not, but I'm a baby.
Yeah. Well, no, you just feel like you've been around for a long time.
I don't know if that's good or bad. Is it good?
No, it's great 'cause you just turn up to everything and just.
I mean,
I know not everyone's got the luxury of doing that, but it's great you do.
You could have just said yes. It's good. Maybe
Your enthusiasm is evident.
No, it is. It's brilliant. Whenever anyone sets something up, you're like, yeah, I'll be there. It's cool.
Guys, Koku can't say yes, that's good. He's a Zen guy. He has to be like, good and bad create each other.
Yeah. I still haven't got the enigmatic Zen master thing. I realized the other day, I could never be a teacher because I can't just be like, not horrid, but you know what I mean? Just strict with people. I just hate that.
Why do you have to be strict to be a teacher?
No, you kind of, I was talking to somebody the other day and I realized part of being a teacher is not resolving other people's feelings for them. So you're not there to make people feel better. You're there to help them kind of learn how to deal with stuff, and you're never going to do that. And I always just want to make people feel better in the moment. And it's nice, but it's not, I don't think that's the role of a teacher.
I think you can make them feel a little bit better.
Yeah. It's not like you should be an arsehole to everyone.
Yeah, don't leave them feeling worse, at least.
That's not good.
I think the enigmatic thing is harder to get across if you're a native English speaker speaking to native English speakers. That's the benefit the Japanese teachers had is, a lot of times it was a little bit hard to understand what they were saying. So there's kind of a natural enigmatic nature there, perhaps. I don't know.
Well, that and they could reach him with a stick.
Yeah.
Have you heard Jundo's story where he asked his teacher, what is time? I think it's something he asked Nishijima.
Oh, yeah.
And he said to Nishijima, what is time? And because Nishijima's Japanese, his English isn't perfect. And he said, like, it's 5:30.
Yeah.
And Jundo thought this was like, oh, yeah,
Profound.
It's now. He's just saying this is now. And Nishijima just thought he asked, what is the time? So it's just like, yeah, you can. I think if you're a Zen master, people give you the benefit of the doubt as well.
Yeah.
There's a really cute anime called Sweet Cheese Home from maybe like 10, 12 years ago. And it's about this kitten. And it's told from the kitten's point of view. And so most of the characters are either other cats or humans that interact with the cat. But there's an old cat in the neighborhood that everyone regards as this great Zen master. And every answer he gives, no matter how prosaic it is, everyone's like, oh, whoa, because he's like, I'm going to go home and eat now. And everyone's like, he's so totally in the moment. He's in touch with what is arising right now. It's really cute.
So do you reckon all we got to do is grow a grey beard and then we'll be all right?
Yep. And get at least one other person to call you Roshi, and you're in like Flynn.
There you go.
We can do that for each other, Sakashi. Just like
Yes, we can, Roshi Koku.
Yeah, thank you, Roshi Sekishu. I just hope Jindo doesn't watch this.
No, I'm off. I'm gone.
Right. Well. Oh, somebody else. Hi, Joseph. I don't know if you can connect to camera or not, or if you want to or not, but it's fine either way. And at this juncture, I normally like to say hello to our mom as well, who's likely to be watching One Way at Home. So thank you all for coming. Again, doesn't seem like a month since the last one, but here we are again to rededicate to the precepts as members of our Tree Leaf Sangha. So thank you for coming. As normal, before I begin, I like to just read a teaching that I think is relevant to the precepts and to ethics. And last time we had some Dogen, so today we're going back to the Pali Canon for an extract from the Sikha Sutra, which is just entitled in English, Trainings. Monks, these 4 types of individuals are to be found existing in the world. Which 4? The one who practices for his own benefit, but not for that of others. The one who practices for the benefit of others, but not his own. The one who practices neither for his own benefit nor that of others. And the one who practices both for his own benefit and for that of others. And how is one an individual who practices for his own benefit, but not that of others? There is the case where a certain individual himself abstains from the taking of life, but doesn't encourage others in undertaking abstinence from the taking of life. He himself abstains from stealing, but doesn't encourage others in undertaking abstinence from stealing. He himself or herself or themselves abstains from sexual misconduct, but doesn't encourage others in undertaking abstinence from sexual misconduct. They themselves abstain from lying, but don't encourage others in undertaking abstinence from lying. They themselves abstain from intoxicants that cause heedlessness, but don't encourage others in undertaking abstinence from intoxicants that cause heedlessness. Such is in the individual who practices for his own benefit and not that of others. And it continues the same for the individual who practices for the benefit of others, but not his own. For an individual who practices neither for his own benefit nor that of others. And how is one an individual who practices for his own benefit and that of others? There is the case where a certain individual himself abstains from the taking of life and encourages others in undertaking abstinence from the taking of life. They themselves abstain from stealing and encourage others in undertaking abstinence from stealing. She herself abstains from sexual misconduct and encourages others in undertaking abstinence from sexual misconduct. He himself abstains from lying and encourages others in undertaking abstinence from lying. She herself abstains from intoxicants that cause heedlessness and encourages others in undertaking abstinence from intoxicants that cause heedlessness. Such is the individual who practices for their own benefit and for that of others. These are the 4 types of individuals to be found existing in the world. And in that, the Buddha doesn't actually say which are the best individuals, but I imagine we can all guess. So let's begin the ceremony for today. People stations together. Just before we go into the main part of the ceremony, we just take this time to sit 5 or 10 minutes of zazen, to ground ourselves, bring us into the present time and space. just to say, for the remainder of the ceremony, we'll all be chanted together, but if you could keep your microphone muted, as I'm sure you know what happens when we all chant together with microphones off, sadly. So the first part, this ceremony is traditionally carried out at the full moon since the time of the Buddha. And it's a ceremony of confession, atonement, and then recommitting to the precepts. Kind of taking the opportunity to look back over the last month at our behavior and whether we've broken any precepts, heaven forfend. And with that in mind, the first part of the ceremony is a confession and atonement using the verse of atonement. And in Zen, we don't go to a confessional and confess our sins to Jundo or anyone. It's just a personal reflection when we look at our own behavior and see if we can tighten it up in any way. And always knowing that, I think as Ryaku or Kimura says, we move between vow and atonement. We make our vows, our 4 bodhisattva vows and all the precepts, pretty much knowing we're going to break them. And then we atone for that at a ceremony like this and vow to do better, knowing that we're probably going to break that as well. But there's the Zen saying, fall down 7 times, get up 8. And that's what we do. So given that atonement and confession is important in this ceremony, we recite the verse of atonement 3 times instead of our normal ones. All harmful acts, words, and thoughts ever committed by me since of old, on account of beginningless greed, anger, and ignorance, born of my body, mouth, and mind, now I atone for them all. All harmful acts, words, and thoughts ever committed by me since of old, on account of beginningless greed, anger, and ignorance, born of my body, mouth, and mind, now I atone for them all. All harmful acts, words, and thoughts ever committed by me since of old, on account of beginningless greed, anger, and ignorance, born of my body, mouth, and mind, now I atone for them all. And now, having done that, we invoke the presence of the Buddhas as symbols of the Buddha way and of retaining and observing our ethical practice with respect to the 16 precepts. Homage to the 7 Buddhas of the past as symbols of our connection through time. Homage to Shakyamuni Buddha, a person of this earth. Homage to Miroku Buddha, symbol of hope for the future. Homage to Monju Bodhisattva, symbol of great wisdom. Homage to Fugen Bodhisattva, symbol of great activity. Homage to Kanzeon Bodhisattva, symbol of great compassion. Homage to the successive generations of ancestor bodhisattvas. And with the symbolic presence of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, we recite together 3 times the 4 Bodhisattva vows. To save all sentient beings, though beings numberless, to transform all delusions, though delusions inexhaustible, to perceive reality, though reality is boundless, to attain the enlightened way, a way non-attainable, to save all sentient beings, though beings numberless, to transform all delusions, though delusions inexhaustible, to perceive reality, though reality is boundless, to attain the enlightened way, a way non-attainable, to save all sentient beings, though beings numberless, to transform all delusions, though delusions inexhaustible, to perceive reality, though reality is boundless, to attain the enlightened way, a way non-attainable. And as we confess, atone, and recite the 4 Bodhisattva vows, we then take on a symbolic purification for all the misdeeds we've done over the last month. And as most of you will know, and hopefully have your new, I even have a new bit of foliage. So you can either, if you have some foliage, you can use that to flick water over yourself. Otherwise, you can just use your fingers. And all we do is we take some water from a bowl we hopefully have and then flick it over ourselves. If you didn't remember to bring a bowl, you can just imagine it. It's completely fine. But yeah, this is just a symbolic purification. I find it quite a lovely part of the ceremony. So we just... And before we recommit to the precepts, it's traditional to recite from the Brahmajala Sutra, Brahma's Net Sutra. You just sit with your hands in Zazen for the first line, and then we put hands in Gasho after that line when I say. All you disciples of the Buddha, join your palms in reverence and listen wholeheartedly, hands in Gasho. I would now like to articulate the preface to the great precepts of the Buddhas. If the members of the assembly will quietly listen, and they know that they have done wrong, they will atone. If they atone, then they will be at ease. If they do not repent, their wrongdoing will grow more grievous. Those who have done wrong are silent, and because of their silence, you should know they are all purified. Dear members of the Sangha, listen well. In this difficult age, when the lifetime of the Buddha sometimes seems distant, you should revere the Pratimoksha, The pratimoksha is none other than these precepts. When you observe these precepts, it is like darkness meeting with light. It is like someone poor attaining a treasure. It is like someone who is ill being healed. It is like a prisoner being released from his chains. It is like a traveler who is able to return home. You should know that these rules are the great teacher for this assembly of people, no different from the presence of the Buddha in the world here and now. Thoughts of fear are difficult to produce. Unwholesome thoughts are difficult to give rise to. Therefore, a sutra says, do not trivialize minor misdeeds as if they are not problematic. Drops of water, though tiny, will gradually fill a large basin. A single instant of wrongdoing can lead you to fall into a hell of uninterrupted suffering. Once you lose your human body, you may not get another one for 10,000 kalpas. Just as a galloping horse passes by swiftly, one's physical strength will not remain. The transience of human life goes beyond the mountains and seas. Even if something remains for the duration of one day, it'll be quite difficult to hold on to it tomorrow. Members of the assembly should each energetically advance their own minds. Be careful not to be lazy, negligent, drowsy, or arbitrary. In the evening, you must gather your thoughts and focus them firmly on the three treasures. Don't take as being a waste of time the effort to deepen your repentance for those of later generations. Members of the Sangha, each of you in your own mind should carefully rely on these precepts. Discipline yourselves in the practices that accord with the Buddha's teachings. We now go on to recite together our recommitment to the 16 Zen Buddha precepts, beginning with the 3 refuges. Respectful devotion to Buddha, respectful devotion to Dharma, respectful devotion to Sangha, devotion to Buddha, the Supreme One, devotion to Dharma, the supreme purity and teaching, devotion to Sangha, the supreme community, perfect devotion to Buddha, perfect devotion to Dharma, perfect devotion to Sangha. And we continue with the 3 pure precepts. Today, I reaffirm my commitment to seek as I can in this body and life to avoid doing harm, to seek as I can in this body and life to live in a healthful and helping way, doing good, to seek as I can in this body and life to live for the benefit of all sentient beings, And now the 10 fundamental precepts. Today, I reaffirm my commitment to seek as I can in this body and life, to refrain from the killing of life, to seek as I can in this body and life, to live in generosity and refraining from taking that which is not given, to seek as I can in this body and life, to refrain from misusing sexuality and all desire, to seek as I can in this body and life, to refrain from false and malicious speech, to seek as I can in this body and life, to refrain from intoxication and its many forms, to seek as I can in this body and life, to refrain from praising oneself and judging others, to seek as I can in this body and life, to refrain from stinginess in bestowing the Buddhist teachings and all precious things, to seek as I can in this body and life, to refrain from all anger, to seek as I can in this body and life, to refrain from disparaging the 3 treasures, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. Abiding in this ephemeral world, may we exist in muddy water, with purity like a lotus. Nothing escapes the boundless mind. Thus we bow to Buddha.
Buddha nature pervades the whole universe, reality existing right here now. In reaffirming our commitments to the precepts, we dedicate our sincere efforts to Shakyamuni Buddha Honored One, the historical Buddha and teacher, to the all-pervading and everlasting 3 treasures, to all arhats and bodhisattvas, mahasattvas, and their relations throughout the Dharma worlds, may our sincere vows to accomplish and live the enlightened way be realized together. All Buddhas throughout space and time, all bodhisattvas, mahasattvas, maha prajna paramita.
Thank you so much for coming. Really appreciate you coming and practicing and retaking the precepts with us. And now you just have to not do anything naughty for the next month and we'll be good. But yeah, thank you very much. It's lovely to see you. And I'll see you around the Sangha, hopefully.
Okay.
Enjoy the rest of your days.
You too.